The Legacy Collection is a hit. It sold 1 million copies in 2 weeks. I can't find it anywhere locally, and my Amazon order from back in April has still not shipped. And yet we can't seem to find anyone online for PvP. How is that possible? This was by far the most commented request that I had. Thank you so much for giving me ideas for future videos. You guys know I'm all about the new players. And let me tell you right now, the first thing you want to do if you want to find someone online is go to your network settings. Make sure you are on worldwide. If you were like me when you first booted up the game, you probably thought America's was fine, whatever, that's where you live. You don't want to be fighting people in Japan or Brazil, and maybe the lag is too much. Unfortunately, you are going to have to bite the bullet there, and that's why it's really important to have a wired Ethernet connection, especially if you're playing on Switch. It is a huge, huge deal. If I'm being very honest with you, I don't have that many issues when I play people privately, because most of us are indeed using a very good connection. So I'm going to go ahead and show you my favorite settings to use. Okay. We're going to start off with the simple setting, right? Ranked versus casual. I have a feeling that more people want to raise their rank, right? I feel like a lot of people are out there trying to hit Omega. Maybe they're getting their crossover points. Guest is really nice because we can instantly snap our fingers and see who is out there. Practice versus real thing. Look, nobody wants to lose their chips, right? This is a pretty antiquated feature. If you think about Magic the Gathering, they got rid of their anti-feature in alpha, right? That was like 20, 30 years ago. No one wants to lose their chips. I feel like this is a setting that's an unfortunate carryover from Battle Network 2 and Battle Network 3, where there were certain chips you could only get through PvP, like Delta Ray. Did you know that? Still, they probably could have fixed that. Nobody wants to lose their chips. And nobody wants to... Nobody's got time for triple battles, okay? If we're in a controlled setting like a tournament or on a Discord, yes, a triple battle is absolutely better for a fair and equitable format, right? Making sure that the most skilled player is going to win, making sure you can adapt. You have time to see what your opponent's doing and adapt on the fly. Unfortunately, this is ranked, okay? These are random people online. People like to DC. No one's got time for it. And I personally like to disable patch cards. That is a format that I'm more familiar with. Not nearly the same as Japan. Japan is all about the patch cards, and look at that. Instantly no people found. Let's expand it. I don't feel great about it, but let's expand it. Let's just keep searching. I think we got one more coming in. Can we fight someone really good? I would love to. I'm only rank E. If that tells you... Ooh, hold up. Actually, I think we may have somebody. I'm only rank E, you guys. If that tells you anything about how often I actually use the public settings. Okay, nope. False alarm. Let me show you right away what I would like to do as well. I'm thinking, let's be the change that we want to see, right? I'm sure most people are like me, or if you click on a guest, you can see the list. Let's try being a host with the exact same settings that I just put up. The exact same settings. Let's wait just a little bit, and let's brainstorm. What are the reasons why this might be possible? Well, the first reason that I can think of is that most people are casual players of Battle Network, and that's true of everything, right? You know, you think about games like Magic or Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Pokemon, the casual audience, it's like 95% of the player base, right? The competitive, like the really hardcore people are a much smaller fraction. That's true of everything, as I just said. And I know for a fact that most people are playing through the Legacy at a slow and steady pace, right? They're going through Battle Network 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, and then finally 6, right? There are even people that I've found on YouTube or my Discord or Twitch or whatever who are saying, hey, like, I really love your content for Beyond 6, but I'm slowly going through the games. Are you ever going to play a format or host a tournament for Battle Network 3? My response to that is, I would love to. Battle Network 3 is by far my favorite Battle Network game. It is very broken, though. It would require a lot of tweaks. Certainly there's no folder back, no plant man, no flash man, whatever. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. The point is, most people are playing through the games in order, so I'm sure given enough time, if the interest in Battle Network remains high, we'll start to see more people trickle in. But really, the main issue, in my opinion, is how laborious it is, right? Think about all those settings that you have to go through. Think about like you've got such a wide player base, right? And of course there's crossplay that's already shrinking that, or rather a lack of crossplay that's already shrinking that pool. It's like, wow, you've got to make sure that every single setting that you have is exactly identical to someone else's settings, and then you got to flip a coin whether they were host or guest. Like, it's a little silly. Think about how many online games you play where you just enter a lobby and that's it, right? Like, they just queue you up with people. You might have a few settings here and there. Like, for example, I think patch cards on and off is a good setting. Triple battle is a decent setting. I think for the sake of ease for everybody, they should just make it single. I feel like single has got to be overwhelmingly the case for ranked play. But I feel like the real choices that you got to make are where you're located, you know, within your country or outside of it globally. If it's going to be for casual rank or for the ability to gain your rank, and then patch cards on and off. And while we're at it, I want to take a second to say, it is a little bit unfortunate that everything is legal online. That should be reserved for the patch cards on format. As we all know, the Gregar and Falzar Giga chips and the Double Beast Mega chip that you get are very, very powerful. A little bit too good for unpatched play. Just a little bit too good for it. I feel like because those chips can only be acquired through patch cards, that we should really be limiting them to patch cards only. In fact, I think in Japan, I could be wrong about this, because I know in Japan, patch cards on is the default way to play. I don't think anything is actually banned when it comes to Giga chips or to Mega chips. Now, unfortunately, those chips are very powerful, and they kind of lead to a more centralized metagame where, okay, like we don't really get to see the spicier chips like, you know, Bug Death Thunder, right? If you're using Falzar and Gregar, they're kind of invalidating them, but you know, that's neither here nor there. Okay, I'm going to tell you right now, this is not going to work. Okay, it's just not going to work. Look at me. I'm a lovely Ranky. I've got 63 wins and 17 losses to my name. How is that possible when I'm Ranky? That's because I play privately and looking. That's the big takeaway from this. Look, I love you, Capcom. We could actually make it without crossplay. We really could, okay? If you just simplified your settings a little bit, right? Once again, pick 3 options for us. Pick 3 options, okay? Do you want your rank to go up or down? Do you want patch cards on or off? And I don't know, maybe triple battle, maybe single battle, but honestly, the third option should be, where do you want to find your opponents, right? That's all that you need. But gang, also be patient, right? Because maybe given a little more time, we might see some other people hopping into the BN6 PvP scene. You guys know that I'm making videos all the time to help people get into that. That's definitely my biggest pride and joy. And really, look, the actual big takeaway here, find private servers. Yes, of course, I have one too, but there are plenty of other Legacy Collection servers out there. It is not difficult to find people if you know where to look. And then you can make sure that 1, you've got a good connection, 2, that they're playing with a pretty fair and balanced meta. You don't have to worry about your Double Beast or your Gregar Falls or Giga Chips, whatever. And 3, you can get ideas and feedback, right? After your opponent, if you lose your match, you can ask, hey, like, what was something that I did that maybe you think I could improve on, or maybe were there chips that you thought that were, you know, maybe a little weaker, a little stronger, whatever. You guys know that we're always happy to help with that. And gang, please get excited. Tomorrow, I'm going to be announcing officially the Rental Rumble. This is a format that is designed for new players. We're basically handing you a folder to use. I'm going to make maybe 10 to 15 different ones, and all you've got to do is build your Navi customizer and get your HP memories. It is very low effort when it comes to the preparation involved. It's a weaker format, so you're not going to be seeing too many degenerate strategies, although of course BN6 is pretty fair and balanced overall. Please get excited for that. As always, you guys do let me know what comments you would like to see for future videos, and I will catch you later.